G'day tubes, Bruce here. Well, we got another Honda. I don't know what the problem is. The owner says that it's leaking by the carburetor. He thinks it's a tank leak. I think it's a plugged off carburetor float issue, gas coming out of the vent of the carburetor. It's a pinhole at the top inside the car. But we'll find out in a minute. So let's just have a look at this little guy. Now, I'm not a fan of these little snow blowers, but this gentleman is, I don't know, he's probably 5 years older than me, and he loves it because of the weight. And it has a fairly strong Honda 4-stroke engine in it, which is nice, because some of these ones that are 2-stroke are a nightmare when it's here in Western Canada, when it's 40 below. They're kind of a tinkerer's delight. But these little Hondas actually run pretty good in the cold. So anyway, he loves it, and that's all that matters, right? And I'm going to take the shroud off, but first we're going to just have a look. The fuel valve is on, so I'm going to put some gas in it, and we're going to see where it's leaking. But the first thing I'm going to do is take this cover off so I can have a look-see and see if I can see the leak out of the carburetor. So once again, I'm not prepared. I don't have any wrenches out or anything, but let's just see if we can fast motion that part. Oh, one more. So I'm just taking off anything I can see, right? Wouldn't that be nice if this just slips off of here? Okay. Ah. Starting to look like a go-kart. Let's have a look. I don't think it's a GX160. I think it's smaller than that. I don't know how many cubic centimeters it is. But it's cute. So let's find out why it's leaking. So let's put some petroleum product in there. Oh. I'm getting ahead of myself, guys. I think I'm going to flush this tank. 1, 2. Where is... There's the hose. I wonder if I can take this piece off too. I don't know. It's pretty... I'm just going to turn you guys off for a second until I figure this out. My apologies, tubes. I got the gas tank out. I ended up having to take 2 more bolts off the auger arm, and I still have not got this instrument panel, I guess you could call it, off. So I have an old Tecumseh gas tank that has a 1/4-inch hose on it, and we're just going to hook that up to the carburetor with fuel in it and see if that does the trick. So I'll be right back. Okay, I promised myself to not spill any fuel. This is my Tecumseh tank with the shut-off, and I'm putting some fresh premium fuel in here. So something like this is a really handy deal when you've got fuel problems and you don't know exactly where to start. At least you know that from here you're getting clean fuel to the carburetor. I'm even going to purge the line a little tiny bit here, just into a container. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So I'm just going to open this valve, a little tiny bit of gas pour out. Now we know we got clean fuel. I'm going to hook this up to the carburetor. And that should work. I opened the line. Now I'm hoping that it doesn't drain or leak through the feed hose because it's a little big. So I'm just going to have a look here. Oh, it's good. I'm just going to let that, oh, I want this cover off of here so bad. Maybe I still can. Alright dudes, now I can work on this thing. I ended up taking the two mounting bolts that hold this whole panel off. So I didn't have to, well, I guess I didn't have to take this choke arm off. Here it is here. So that goes back on the carburetor. And we'll just put this over here, awaiting reassembly. So now I want to see if it's the carb or if it's the fuel system that's leaking on this bad boy. I want to just attach this somehow. Anything. Even to there with some tape. There. We now have a temporarily mounted gas tank. There's the throttle. It's all done by governor. And here's the choke. I'm almost tempted to give this a start. It has no traction. I'm a little leery to start this up on my lift because it just might take off. So let's get the tools away. So let's give this a go. Okay, it runs good. Now I want to just wait and see if it's leaking. Here's the actuator up here. So that's fine. Runs good. Why is it leaking? Now I can check out the tank and the tubing. Alright guys, this is the instrument panel. I've reinstalled the gas tank. I don't know if you saw this. And up underneath here, okay, so up underneath here, the, how can I do this? I need an arm coming out of my forehead. Okay, there we go. The gas comes out of the tank, through the on-off valve, and then down to the carburetor, which is closed off with this hemostat, right? Right there. And I don't see any wetness. This is the choke lever, and this is the electrical on-off connector that goes to the motor. This has been sitting for a couple of hours. So now, zing, don't get dizzy. Here we are at the carburetor. We've got our temporary gas tank feeding nice clean fuel down to the carburetor. Now, we've got to look at this pretty carefully here. There's been moisture, as you can see, right in here. But I don't know if it's new moisture. Maybe a little bit. Oh, I hate to do this to you. Is that new moisture right there? Or is that old moisture just left a path? Now there will be a tiny bit of dripping from the choke. I took this off, and believe it or not, it's just a tube that makes it suck warm air from the car or around the carburetor. There's no air filter in here. There's just a screen. Oop. Okay, so it sucks air into this tube and up and into the carburetor with the choke there. You know that the choke runs like that. And so it is going to drip sometimes a little bit from the carburetor when it's running rich. But I don't see any fresh gas. Now there are stains from when it was dripping, probably from the vent over here. But I think I'm going to just take this carburetor off and give it a 20-minute clean. They don't put air filters on snowblowers, most of them. They don't put air filters on most snowblowers. But this little setup is a marvel of simplicity, right? Just the governor. This is the governor arm, and the weights in the motor swing, and as it slows down, it adds more fuel, and as it speeds up, it adds less, and it just sits there and rides at whatever it's set at. There's and it runs it. There's no throttle setting, it just runs. Isn't that cool? I love that. The only thing I don't like about Honda carburetors is that the orifices are too small and they plug off with any kind of crud at all. Alright guys, another carburetor clean. I don't like these gaskets flapping on here like that. I'm going to try and get them off so that we don't hurt them. It's a 12. Oh, and it's loose. Interesting. Everything's loose. That is so weird. Okay, that's a clean carburetor. Let's just take this. Oh, dropped my watch. Let's just take this top. This is always in tight, or you know, carburetor tight. Let's spray a little goo down there too. Okay, so I'm just going to get a small piece of hose and blow on there to see if we have any leak at all. I've got a hose here. I'm going to put some pressure with my mouth. No, that's perfect. Okay, so that's the front of the carburetor. That's the drain. Goes to the front, and we should have one piece left. Our 12 millimeter